Okay, so I need to head back to there at some point. It's difficult to keep track of all the quests. Right. But someone wanted me to go here. There we go. Take Ada to the Records Archive. But I also need to find a person here. I was going to say steward, it's not the steward here. Are we allowed in? Ooh. Ah. Chancellor Warren. That's who we wanted to speak to. I guess they need to update their records of who owns the place. They've been trying to track me down for some time. So this is Marshal Fulwin, the military advisor. He's a witness for the proceedings. My reputation precedes me. I've created a bit of a stir throughout the nobility with your reclamation of Caed Nua. So the legitimacy of my claim is in question. So the Earl Bademar has issued a ruling on the matter. It was abandoned for over a century and I've claimed the land through strength of arms. So technically that is correct, but they will also want it. Who's Lord Gathbin? So they don't know which way he's ruled. What was a Roadwarden? The one who rules Caed Nua on behalf of the Earl of Yenwood is traditionally known as the Roadwarden. My position might not be entirely official yet, but the title is an appropriate form of address. So I'd get a title if I won this. So the Earl comes from an esteemed line of laws that rose to prominence after the War of Defiance some 150 years ago. That Earl consists of 7 earldoms. As to the current Bademar, he's as fine a man as I know. It's an honour to serve him. So the Grasp are now the largest of the 7 earldoms. And it encompasses Guild of Vale and Caed Nua. Okay, this is a lot of information. When the Dar was a colony of Ada, it was divided into 9 earldoms. When the Adarians were defeated, and from now 2 of the earldoms were absorbed and borders were adjusted. So, yeah, who's this guy that's trying to take my place from me? There's ample time to determine the character of him. So he's descended from an old Edirnian line that predates the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather was Earl of Yenwood during the war. So he was stripped of his lands and driven from the Direwood. Okay. Yes, impeccable timing. So he was stripped of his lands, but now he's trying to claim it back. So an opportunely dressed man strides forwards towards the Chancellor. An elven woman with cropped hair stands next to him. So he's just trying to get it all through quickly. Interesting. Ah. Okay, so he's the brother of the woman who married Lord Raedric. Okay. So this is the Lord of Caed Nua. Yes, I am the Lord of Caed Nua. Okay. Struggling to keep up with what's going on here. Should I antagonise him? I feel like if I did that, he'd challenge me to a fight. And then whoever's strongest would get to claim the keep. And I think I'd probably win. Okay. So read the Earl's decree. So regarding the matter of the been claimed on Caed Nua, the Gaspin claim is never fully relinquished. By law, it's the rightful property of the Gaspin family, so he's going to get all happy, and then hopefully they're going to read the next line, which is, however. There we go. See, there's him being triumphant. Here's the however. They all recognise the Davis part in reclaiming Caed Nua, such as stood abandoned, even some would say cursed, for over a century. Before Caed Nua is returned to the Gaspin family, elders decreed that Lord Gaspin will provide compensation in the form of... He doesn't want to provide compensation, therefore we get to keep it. So the amount is quite reasonable and a requirement for your land to be returned to you. Okay. I'm just going to grab his arm to stop him. So she's going to... This is getting very tense very quickly. So there's no need for violence. I mean, he's a very violent man. He came ready to attack me. Okay. So, well, I can't say that Gaspin's reaction was entirely unexpected. I'm afraid you made a powerful enemy. He did seem a little bit upset. So he's always been vicious, even as a boy. I mean, that makes sense if he married into Roderick's family, or his sister did. He can hold a grudge for a very long time. So, Caed Nua now officially belongs to me, since Gaspin has rejected the Ulster crew. A deep blue sceptre, which looks to have been carved entirely out of sapphire. This belonged to one of the old lords of Caed Nua. By right it is mine. That's quite nice. I don't want to invite him. I want to tell him to stay away. So it's pleasant to finally meet me. Well, I'm glad that's all sorted. And I'm sure he won't turn up later and attack me. Right. Court has been completed. But I think there was still a thing to do here. Yes, this is the thing for Ada. Oh, what was that? Ah, that's what it was. So the Weaver's Song. The colourful clothing of the Spartan Weaver Bosnetta is known throughout the Eastern Reach. Over a year ago she was on a trip to Defiance Bay when her ship sank in a violent storm. So her body was never found, she was presumed to have died. However, a merchant in Defiance Bay recently recognised some of Bosnetta's unmistakable work in an otherwise unremarkable shipment of textiles. He spoke with others and learned that the pattern existed elsewhere. So people believe that Bosnetta is being held captive somewhere and is trying to communicate through her work. The Durance found surprising resistance to inquiries regarding the whereabouts of Bosnetta. A team of valiant cryptographers attempted to decipher the fragments of Bosnetta's weaving messages. They communicated that to Durance. Durance reached Bosnetta's prison, a weaving house near Kirara. The company that abducted her was immediately cast out. So Bosnetta wove an enchanted cloak for Durance's journey back to Caed Nua. So there's a fair amount of experience, some money, 2 minor items, and a cloak of comfort. That's quite nice. That's very nice.